I'm at Central Festival Mall here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And I'm on the second floor of the mall. This mall will beat any mall in the United States. It's 5 floors. Well, anyhow, this is not about the mall, but I thought you might like to see a little bit of it before I get into why I'm having this video made. I carry a little book in my pocket. Just about the size, a little bigger from your ring finger to your wrist. So it fits very conveniently in my pocket. And once in a while something jumps out at me and I mark it in the back. So the one I want to talk about is Proverbs 19:23. Proverbs 19:23. Proverbs 19:23, the fear of the Lord tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. So let's begin with the whole idea of the fear of the Lord. Now, in other Proverbs, at the beginning of the book, we are told the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. We're also told the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So if you want knowledge and wisdom about God, you must understand this word, the fear of the Lord. Now, unfortunately, in modern preaching and teaching in churches, this has been removed, or it's been softened. And yes, it does mean that you need to have the highest respect for the one who has all authority over all of life, over all of the universe, and over every individual that exists on earth. He is the one who knows all of our thoughts, and he is the one who will judge everyone according to his standards, not our standards. Now, children have lost this. Some of it is because discipline does not exist in the homes, or if it does exist, it's very watered down. The schools have lost this. They have removed corporal punishment. They have removed the idea of sending the child to principal office and the child will get a smack in the buttocks area. Now, I've served with a lot of older people, and the older people will tell me that in their generation, if they got a whooping at school, they did not tell their parents. And the reason they did not tell their parents is another whooping and more severe punishments would be administered in the home. Now today, if a child is disciplined, what happens is the parents go up to the school and start yelling, screaming, and complaining and threatening a lawyer and all kinds of stuff. So this doesn't exist in the schools either. A healthy fear, I want to say this is a healthy fear. I'd like to illustrate it from my life. When I was in 8th grade, a group of us decided that we would miss the school bus. Intentionally miss the school bus. But we decided to cover our tracks. We would walk to school. Now you must understand something, that at this time, a walk to school was probably about 12 miles or more. And we knew that if we made it, the only way we would make it would probably be in the last period. So we were having a blast, walking, talking, throwing sticks in the woods, stones in the woods, telling each other stories. And this car pulls up. It was basically a brand new car in that particular year. And I'm talking about in the 1960s. Now, the man wound down the window and said, "Would you boys like a ride to school?" And in unison, like a choir, we all said, "No, thank you." The man, who was dressed in a three-piece suit, then said, "Boys, do you know who I am?" "Oh, no, sir." "I am the assistant superintendent of the school district. Get in the car." Well, all four of us immediately dropped our sticks and stones and got in the car. Why? There was some type of healthy fear in us. And I say healthy fear, not unhealthy. We were skipping school, we were caught, and we didn't want anybody to bother us. Now, in a way, you could say that the assistant superintendent was like the Lord. Now, whenever you see capital letters, that means God's personal name. It's called the Tetragrammaton. The 4 Hebrew letters that were revealed to Moses at Burning Bush. And what's translated, "I am who I am." Now, if you have a fear of God, a healthy fear, then you will know true life. Now, the devil comes to everyone and says, "You are free to do whatever you want. It's no one's business, and there's no punishment or repercussion or consequences of your actions. So do whatever you want." Now, is this true? No. That's death. The wages of sin is death. Now, if you have a healthy fear of God, not only will you get knowledge, not only will you get wisdom, but you will get life. Remember what Jesus said, that he came to bring life and more abundant. So, another result will be satisfaction. Satisfaction about life itself and about your life, because you have a fear of the Lord. And you know that when you skip school, somewhere out there, there's an assistant superintendent that's going to confront you. God will confront all of us about our words and our actions in this life. Now that should jar you. That should shake you. This morning I just listened to a sermon where the expositor said, I want to tell you about my most unfavored verse in the Bible. My most disliked verse. Or we might say my most dreaded verse. Now, you're not accustomed to hearing that because we all want to have our favorite verses that remind us of blessings and goodness and so forth. But it was from the Gospel of Matthew. I believe it was Matthew 10:36, but at this point I'm not entirely sure of the reference. But it says that Jesus told us that we would be held accountable for every idle word. So the preacher said, that's my most dreaded verse. It's my most disliked verse. Now, you can live a satisfied life if you know you're going to avoid those things and remove them from your life that you don't want to answer for in the day of judgment. In other words, if you live honestly and you live lovingly and kindly, basically you'll have no regrets. Now, I didn't say you'll have no sins, so don't hear me to say that, but you can be satisfied. Remember when Jesus fed the multitude? That he fed the multitude with just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And it said that after the miracle was done, the people were what? Satisfied. When you have God in your life and you want God and you want to answer to God, then ultimately you'll live a life of satisfaction. Now, having gone through university studies and then later graduate level work, you can understand that a lot of times satisfaction is something that appears in studies. So for example, there might be a study about how satisfied are you with this company and this service? How satisfied are you with your work? And Lord forbid, how satisfied are you in your marriage with your spouse? You can live a satisfied life if you fear God. Now the next result that he says will occur is that you will not be visited with evil. Now please note, it doesn't say that you will not be tempted by the evil one. Okay? And the Lord Jesus taught us prayer called the Lord's Prayer, which is really more the disciples' prayer. Deliver us from the evil one. The translations that we have in the King James and others are a little bit deficient, and the best possible translation is deliver us from the evil one. Now, the evil one wants to attack you and me through all of his strategies. Now, this verse doesn't say you will not be attacked. Okay? What it says is you're not going to have evil in your home or in your life. Because you know God hates evil. You know God hates sin. So you're not going to engage in activities that are classified as evil. Furthermore, the evil spirits will basically leave you alone. Now, it doesn't mean that they won't come and try to harass you, but they want a home, the evil spirits. And Jesus acknowledged their existence all through the whole Bible, Old Testament, New Testament. They're also called foul spirits. Okay? Now, the evil spirits cannot find a home in a person's life that is filled with the fear of the Lord. Now, this is a healthy fear. Never mind those preachers that tell you there's no hell. Never mind those preachers that tell you abominations are acceptable and fine. Never mind them. You listen to the book of Proverbs. The fear of the Lord is what is going to bring life to you and to me. So here I am with my little book of Proverbs on a bench in the mall, fearing the Lord. Thank you for watching this video. End of video.